Good afternoon, folks. How is everyone? As always, hope you're doing well. Big three, babies. That's the Offspring doing Me and My Old Lady off of Ixnay on the Ombre. I think that's what it's called. Used to be a really good band. Then I lost all respect for them when they got rid of their drummer, Pete Parada, who's now with the Defiant, with Dickie from the Boss Tones and a couple other fellas. They cut him loose when he refused to take the needle because his doctor told him, don't take the needle, you got other health issues. It's unwise for you to get the jab. So they cut him loose. Shitbags. Anyway, today we're going to take a look at 10-Barrel-Brewing's Pub Beer. It's a lager. It's cheap fun. You had me at cheap fun. Pretty sure that's my middle name. Or was that my porn name? I don't remember. 5% is the ABV. Net contents are 12 fluid ounces. Cheapfunbeer.com or at cheapfunbeer. Standard government bullshit warning. Made in facility that processes wheat. In beer? What? Don't even get me started on the whole I'm allergic to wheat. Unless you have celiac, you're not allergic to wheat. Anyway, let us get down to business. It's currently 110 in that glass that I just pulled out of the freezer. Well, she ain't frozen no more. It's not going to take long to work through the temperature grading on this. But let's get down to business. Hope you fuckers are doing well. Somebody said to me, why do you put your beer videos up on Thursdays? So maybe you can have a good suggestion for Friday. Oh, that's a pretty beer, man. It's a nice head, too. Get the camera set up wrong. I can't tip the head down. But if you could, you would see how pretty that head is. Nice and flat, although she's come down really quick. She still grades well, right? Tight at the bottom, loose at the top. The SRM on this is going to be about a 6. Let's get a temp. Get the tongue in there before she starts to climb out of the acceptable range. On a beer like this, I really do like them in the 36, 38, 40 range. This one's already well out of that. So we are currently looking at 46.8 in a chilled glass. Hot out, folks. All right, let's slip it a tongue. Almost forgot. It's Biden time. Let's get that sniffer up in there and see what's going on. Nice floral nose. Really, really nice. That nice floral lagery nose. This beer already smells delicious. Check my notes here. They said it was going to be a floral pear nose, and that the malts were going to be crackery. But they wouldn't tell me anything else. I mean, they don't tell me what they put in it. Just that's what their notes said on their page. So maybe we're pulling pear. I would not have pulled that out of my hat though. But the beer's getting warm. Let's slip her the tongue, because she looks as pretty. You don't slip her the tongue. You're not a gentleman, sir. Skull. Nice. Entire intradental and soft palate. 2/3 of the tongue working back. Nothing extradental, nothing sublingual. Nothing buccal. Nice, clean. I don't want to call her crisp because she's a little dirty for a lager, and not that I have any problems with that. Lagers are, again, my favorite beers. Am I picking up pear? No. But I'm not a super taster. I guess apparently like 1/10 of 1% are super tasters. Like there are people who can see an extra shade of like green, and they're usually females. It's a genetic adaptation. I don't have that one either, man. I've told you, there's 4 shades of white. White, off-white, dirty, and gray. That's the 4 shades of white, man. She's nice. Again, she's dirty. She's fast. So, you get the intradentals, you get the entire soft palate, you get 2/3 of the tongue going back. She hits the back of the throat. She goes right down like an express elevator. A really, really nice example of a lager at this temperature. But, I'm going to turn this off for about a nanosecond and come back, and she'll be up in the 50s, which is way outside of my comfort zone for a beer, especially of this color and this style. I do like these cold. But we got to see what she opens up into, so we'll be right back. Alrighty, folks. I'm really loath to let this beer go any further. We should be well into the 50s by now. Alright. Just so you don't think I'm blowing smoke up your chimney. In 53, 54. As warm as we're letting this beer go. Anything else would be a sin against God. And we know that beer is the reason that God loves us and wants us to be happy. Benjamin Franklin. So, I'd prefer not to drink it at this temp, but I know sometimes you put your beer down because you're going to go talk to a honey or something sweet, so shit happens. Let's see what we got. Okay, so she has definitely shifted. She is still fully involved intradentally, soft palate, front of the tongue, and she started to bitter up. So the IBUs on this beer are listed as an 18. Every bit of an 18. It's a lager. They're always, almost always sub 20. The hops in here are noble. And they're working really well with the wheat and stuff, the malton stuff that they didn't bother to give us. Yeah, so 5% and 18 IBUs. She's drinkable. So, the floral goes away. And she seems to dry out more, right? So, while she's still dirty, once she hits the top of the soft palate, it's a different feel. Okay, where before, when she hit the top of the soft palate, it was moister, and now when she hits the top of the soft palate, she's dry. Okay, it just a quick change in mouthfeel. That being said, she's still really, really solid even at this temperature, which again, wouldn't be how I'd prefer to drink her. We did start her in the approved range. I'm sure she's probably more vacant, but more to my liking in the 36, 38, 40 range, which is where I like lagers when it's 110 degrees out. So, would I buy this beer again? Without a doubt. Would I drink this beer again? Of course I would. Would I like to try it on tap? What won't I tap? I'm the original tap whore. Is it good for the style? Yes. It's actually really good for the style. Let's try it this way. So American lagers tend to be really light in the flavor profile because American palates tend to be conditioned for a lighter beer, and a lot of that comes from the people who drink light beer. We've said this before, Budweiser was one of my favorite beers, and there was a time when Budweiser had rice in there to dry it out. This is back in the late 70s. awesome. The batshit dog talking to the next door neighbor's dog, which is probably the joke. Worked really well for it. Gave it a really, really nice, it's that crisp, sharp note that I tend to like in lagers. This is more of, she's richer than you're going to get with something like a Coors. She's not as sparkly as a Miller. I haven't drank a Budweiser in so long, I don't know if I can even compare it to a Budweiser. If you're old enough to remember, there was a time when there was Budweiser and there was Michelob. Michelob was like their Cadillac version, and I loved Michelob. It was a great beer, but it was a lot richer and malty sweeter, if I remember. Not overly done, just really, really good. So this is sort of in between those two. It's not as, I don't want to say well crafted, because it's a well crafted beer. It's not heavy because it's a lager, but the flavor profile in like a good solid German tends to be stronger, richer, more forward than in an American. I mean, you know, you've got German here, you've got American somewhere over here, and this is probably about here. So it's a nice combo. Don't get me wrong. It's a really, really good beer. So if you handed this to me out of the cooler, what would I say? I would say, thank you very much. You know what? Probably need a second one because I don't want this one to get lonely. Well crafted, good for the style, very tasty. Even as she warms up, and I don't even want to know what temperature she is now, but we'll do one more just to give you an idea. Yeah, she's 5, dude. Solid brew. So if you need something for the weekend, you could do much worse than 10 Barrels pub beer. Current temperature is 58, 59. I don't know. Can you see that through the glass? 60. We have 60 degrees. Let's see what a 60-degree lager tastes like. Usually not the best thing, by the way. Skål. Okay, so here's the thing. Even at an overwarm temperature like this, and we're at 15 degrees, 12 degrees, I would say 20 degrees, over the temperature I want to drink this beer at, she opened back up. She's floral. There's a grassy back end. I'm just telling you. She's super fast now, though. I mean, she's even chalking out my teeth a little, but the entire flavor profile has shifted literally to just the soft palate. So, if you're going to chat up the honeys, you might want to steer them over to the bar and buy them an appropriate cocktail while you order you a fresh cold beer. I'm just throwing it out there. Yeah, no, she's a solid 5. It's a really, really good beer. I like this beer. This would easily go into the rotation. I know it's August something. 13th maybe? 14th maybe? I don't know, man. I live in Biden's Whale. Like calendars even exist anymore. But, good choice. So, with that, my friends, we'll see you on the next beer. Remember, I always want you to be the big 3. I want you healthy, happy, safe, honorable, dutiful, vigilant, gray man, head on a swivel, hot and handy. And hot and handy comes with its own set of responsibilities. It doesn't mean I don't love you. I always want you to be the big 3. Skål. Even at like 60, 62. Not bad. Not at all. I'll see you next time. Adios.